I just want to begin by congratulating you guys for getting to this point. I think it's fantastic to see this initiative building. I have been a bit involved in the discussion so far, and this initiative has my full support, as I'm going to come on to explain. Before we get into the issues about crime and antisocial behaviour, which in many ways often portray a negative image of young people, and sometimes link boxing to it, in which in some ways it doesn't deserve, I want to talk about boxing and actually my passion for it, and my belief that it should be better supported and promoted as a sport. I think sometimes people in public bodies hold back from it, but that's not my view at all. I think boxing clubs in some of our communities across Greater Manchester are doing some of the most amazing work with young people in terms of giving them confidence, belief, discipline, and yet they're kind of doing it beneath the radar. We were just chatting there a minute ago. They're kind of unsung heroes in boxing clubs, particularly those people who run them. I remember Adrian used to, still runs Lee Amateur Boxing Club, I think. You know, the amount of work that he put in, completely missed, I think, by a lot of the authorities, was just unbelievable. He did it for the love of it. But the number of people who went through his doors, and I knew many of those young people in Lee, and I saw the change that happened in them as they became part of that environment. And I see exactly the same down at Nigel's club. Been in there a couple of times in the last year. You can just see it, the positivity in the room, but the focus that's there in the gym. And you know, also the divides that are being broken down. I remember Nigel talking to me about that at Moss Side. You know, lads from different sides of the community, but they're there in the gym and they're then working together, and the environment is a positive one. And you just can't kind of underestimate the value of that. So I've long believed that boxing kind of needs to move a bit from the fringes and more into the mainstream of not just partly of sports delivery, but also in terms of its role in the wider community. And the thing that struck me about this initiative when I first heard about it, when you first came to me, was that for the first time it networked the clubs. And I liked that, because other sports probably are, because of playing each other on a regular basis and all the rest of it, leagues, and you know, with other sports you tend to get a networking of clubs and a collaboration that goes on between the clubs. But that doesn't happen as much with boxing. It tends to be more isolated in terms of the work that they do. When there's anything in life, and this is the kind of Greater Manchester spirit, isn't it? When you come together, you do more, don't you? Achieve more. That's what the B is all about, isn't it? Everyone starting to pull together, work together for the common good. And it felt to me that this initiative was very much about that. If we create a network of clubs that can work with Greater Manchester Police, Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service, it's great to see GMP represented here this morning, then I think we can help find the right club for the right young person, rather than going to one club, not liking it, going away and then being lost to the sport. I think if we're working as a network, I think it's better that we'll be able then to find a place that's right for the young person concerned. So, you know, I think it is important though to recognise that the initiative does come from growing concerns around youth violence and knife crime. When we talk about youth violence though, I think it's important to recognise that while the media often talk about youth violence as perpetrators and portray that image, I think young people are far more likely to be victims of crime in their communities than they are to be perpetrators of crime. And something that comes over to me when I speak to young people a lot, and I do, is that they say it's not that someone thinks they're hard, therefore they will carry a knife. It can often be the reverse. It can be that they're worried, they're frightened, and start to do that. And this is where I think this initiative can really come in. If there is someone who's doing that through fear, you know, I think this initiative can then give them that confidence not to feel that way, and perhaps then give them the feeling that they don't have to go out carrying something, and that helps then to obviously, of course, to de-escalate the whole situation. So I kind of feel this initiative really does deserve public support, the support of businesses, as you say, the support of of the boxing community. It's very good to see England boxing here supporting these clubs. It's great to see our colleagues from Merseyside. Where are we?
There's Alan at the back.
Alan, sorry Alan. Yeah, hiding there. No. It is great to see you here as well, because I know some of the Liverpool clubs have been doing some of this work for a number of years. The Rotunda, I think, and one in Anfield, I think, have been doing. That's your club? And I know it's worked, and the results are there to show it. So the fact that you're supporting us is appreciated as well. But yeah, that's my message this morning. It's going to have my support, and I will be promoting it to not just GMP and Greater Manchester Fire, but our councils and other public bodies, but also to our businesses as well. We've